How extraordinarily cool is that? The electric start. Incredibly large badge on the front as well.
Yeah?
To prove it is in fact a Cub 90. Time to tax. I'm keeping my helmet on because I'm so excited. I'm going to go straight back out and play. It's classed as a bicycle by DVLA. Woof, we're good to go. Right, time to get this learner plate off. Finger tight, she's alright. Oh, come on, you bitch. That's learned it. Come on, I've still got the protective plastic on it. Freedom. Alright, welcome to my garage. The first problem is that I had mirrors in stock, but this bit here is too fat to go in the holes on the handlebars, so I'm going to look for some taps and some dies. We'll drill a hole, tap a hole and wang some mirrors in. If we don't know what size the thread is, we can use this little pitch gauge finder so it meshes with the threads nicely, so we know it's 1 1/4. And in terms of knowing what size the thing is, just use Vernon's caliper. And what we need to do is find M10, there he is, by 1.25. Wonzo. M10 by 1.25. So we drill a slightly smaller hole, we tap it, and then we can stick the mirrors on. You don't want to be mincing the metal by slamming it into full power and chewing everything up. Conceptually that's going to work. Clutch. 2 hands. So on these guys you want to go a bit in to cut a bit and then a bit out. Well, blow me, it works. So it attaches like that, and then we simply lock it in place by twizzling this down. I can see everyone I'm overtaking now. As I said, this one is skew-if and not particularly strong, but such is life, such is desk. This is a bit of a pilgrimage. I've come to JHS Racing. 3.6. 475 is mine. This is just a quick stop to say that I am in love with this 5.13 horsepower machine. Alright, just going to a talk about magic mushrooms with my mum. I've just got back from the mushroom talk. It was quite good actually. There wasn't a lot of mention of magical aspects of mushrooms, but he is a retired GP. Some GPs are using them now, and you might argue that it's quite a good place to invest money, but this is not a video about investing money in psychedelic mushrooms. It's about psychedelic bikes. So I know everyone's dying to know, what does it look like underneath? What does it look like underneath? This. So what we have there is the air filter housing, relatively clean inside. And while I was in there I discovered that one of the screws, the sort of captive element of it, is shot. So inside our friendly airbox we've got the broken off bit. I've elected to fix that by stuffing a rule plug in there, and I will now glue that in. Okay, the rule plug bodge worked. The fairing is going back on now. I'm just going to rub all the rust out of these bolts and dip them in grease so they're easy to take in and out, because I dare say there's going to be a lot of taking in and out with this thing. I'm going to go internet shopping and then to bed. Okay, it's the day after the night before. I just started it. I really want to use it, but I've got other stuff to do. I'll try and fit in a bit of riding, but there's something interesting to do later as well. Just back from Devizes on this lovely thing. I went to return the key ring that was on the keys because it looked like it might be sentimental or wanted, and it was, so that's good. But the lovely bloke that sold it to me, Phil Roderick, he gave me a Haynes manual for it that he found, and also the original owner's manual. I also went to Devices motor panels, I'm going to change the oil just because it's a courteous thing to do and it costs less than £8.90 because it doesn't use all of that. So straight away our Haynes comes in handy. Oil capacity 1.06 pints. Just drizzling through. This is all about rebuilding the carb, so that'd be handy. Oh, I was hoping it was going to tell us exactly the procedure for changing the oil. It's not going to be hard, but it's nice to know, isn't it? Here are routine maintenance. Check the tyre pressures. Just did that at Checkpoint Tyres Devices. The dipstick dips when out, not wound in. Lubricate the drizzlers. Go under the thing. Ah, here we go, look. The larger bolt is the drain plug. I assume that is the cam chain tensioner, so don't do that. I haven't got one of those cool Castrol jugs, but I've got a funnel. Welcome along to the gusset, or the undercarriage, of the C90, big chubby 17. So we're going to wang a washing up bowl or old oil container or something under here just to catch it. How long is it going to take to find a 17 in here? Come on, you French pig. There's an adjustable there that's going to be getting it in a sweet 17. Come on, Mavis. I'm going under. Yes. The old washing bowl for a sec. Righty, lefty, tighty, loosey. Bob's your fanny and uncle's your aunt. It's ideal if you do this in a nice pink shirt as well, because then you can get oil on it. Also in a carpeted garage it's much better because carpet absorbs used oil and smells like a bastard forever. I may just fuck this plug into the abyss. Catch tray. No, there's no need. Yeah, she seems to be enjoying that. I'm just revving up a cup of tea because this is sort of cup of tea sort of behaviour. We've got the old top box there. There's a rack coming for that. There's also a rack coming for the front. I plan to fit a stolen shopping basket to that. And there's a carb in the post. There's a carb rebuild kit in the post, so I can keep the original but also use it while I'm rebuilding the original. Helen remembered the other thing. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, also I've given it a clean. So in certain areas, like there, it was full of grime. It's now clean. It's not perfect. Please do not think this is a perfect example. It's not. I used Cif bathroom cleaner on this. My wonderful son helped me on the Honda Badge. We used Built Hamber Surfex 10:1 with a toothbrush. But the overall impression that it now gives is sort of fairly succulent, I should say. And I'm really happy with it. I've learnt one thing, and that is that absolutely hammering the piss out of a fixing when you're doing it back up is not always useful. It took me a long time to realise that. Okay, I've just cleaned my funnel. Here's my litre of oil from Devices motor panels, and I've cleaned my funnel, particularly the shaft and especially the tip. They have a little sight glass on the edge of their bottle, so I know I've put exactly 600ml in. So we'll just have a look in the used oil for shiny metallic bad news, and whim diddly, there is none. Okay, we now try and start it. Oh! Perfection. Oh, it's perfect for a picnic. Look at all the surface area for snacking. Curry sauce holds. It grips. 8 sticks. And I'll carve. Okay, this is a dead hake. It's not quite a Honda Cub. I'm subject to some significant Pantel chubbate because I can now rebuild the carb. So can you see the seal in places? There we go, that one there. It's been pinched completely flat. There's no spring to it anymore, so we're going to clean it. Look at the state of this. That's the seal. Well, that took far longer than I thought it would. The float was playing up. Nevertheless, it's rebuilt, it doesn't leak. I've checked the idle, which is a screw on a spring, crosshead screw on a spring, and I've done the mixture, which is all the way in, and then 1 1/4 turns out. So now I put the fairing back on, little white fairing, and zing off. The atmosphere is rich with dust. It smells of harvesting, because that's what they're doing. Just been to the British Lion for a pint of shandy, lager shandy. And having rebuilt the carb, it now no longer stinks of fuel. It doesn't have this sort of hesitation at 3/4 to full throttle. And it does little wheelies when you go into second now. Just barbecuing a nice piece of skirt. Where I put the carb back together, I put 1 1/4 turns from fully in. On the mixture screw it should have been 1 3/4, so the plug got black and sooty, and it started being a bit hesitant just as you go from idle to accelerate. So that means that my son and I had the plug out, cleaned it off, adjusted the mixture, it now rips. Having a Honda Cub is so mint. I've been everywhere today. I've been to collect my book on psychedelic cacti. I've been to Fingering Cousins Minge. I've been to Prickstiff Erectington, and I've been to Spunkton Gusset, and now I'm home again. I've got a carb for the Cub, brand spanking new carb with everything on it, 16 quid. I have rigged a system whereby a Krieger bag can be chucked on the back with 4 straps, 2 zip ties, double pleasing. The post lung has been and delivered, or indeed delivered, and these things will help me with my delizardries. 2 racks, 1 centre rack, 1 back rack, so we can top box this bitch. The only other problem I've had, which I've solved, was having rebuilt the carb. I took the choke butterfly plate off, I put it back on and it became stiff. I've just disconnected the choke cable for now. I'll sort it, but as it is, the plug is a beautiful sort of mushroomy tan colour. It runs beautifully. It'll do 50 on the flat, even with my large frame on. And just owning a Honda Cub is the best thing I've ever had with an engine. I've had loads of stuff with engines, and that's not to say that I'm some incredibly affluent party boy with G-Wagons and so on. I'm a proud bottom feeder, but I've had loads of different cars, well over 30, probably 40 by now. Fast ones, slow ones, big ones, small ones, and that is the most fun you can have with an engine and a reg plate, to my mind. And I speak with some authority on that, so that's cool. In essence, that is a video of obtaining, servicing, MOTing, and beginning to use a Honda Cub, and how much fun it is. So get your own.